All right, guys, as you know, the Bears got beat down by the Niners. Oh, it was bad. 38-13. I endured through it on the live stream. I'm just going to hit one quick thing right here because a lot of people are still denying what the biggest need of this team is. I'm going to hit it real quick, real fast. Might be the quickest video I've ever done. Because I showed before the game where the Bears' big deficiency is, and that's on defense. Our run defense is terrible. We allow 22nd most yards per game and 25th most rushing yards per game. It's bad. But this game was very evident of that. Kyle Shanahan and company ripped us apart. Here is the Bears' defensive line. This is our number one single biggest need. We have to fix this defensive line. We have two guys on this defensive line that deserve to be on a NFL roster, on a starting NFL roster. That's a little bit weird. Okay, there we go. Gervon Dexter and Montez Sweat. And Gervon Dexter only played 6 run defense snaps, only played 7 pass rush snaps because he got injured and taken out of the game. Pass rush grade, pass rush win percentage, Austin Booker's coming along, but he's developmental. I've said that before, I've said it again. But look at this. Our run defensive grades were terrible. In fact, on the season, our best run defender, Montez Sweat, is ranked 54th in the entire league. 54th against the run. Our next one is in the 80s. Gervon Dexter's in the 80s. All these other guys, Zach Pickens, Byron Cowart, Chris Williams, they don't belong on NFL rosters. They're absolutely abysmal. They're terrible. And especially against, look at these PRP. This is the pass rush pressure and win percentage. Look at all these guys with zeros. Zach Pickens, Chris Williams, Byron Cowart, Jacob. They did nothing in this game. No sacks by the defensive line. Now, to be fair, Montez Sweat had the one sack wrapped up, and then T.J. Edwards finished it off after he missed on his tackle. He didn't tackle him completely. Montez Sweat missed his tackle and didn't wrap him up, and T.J. Edwards got the sack. So the one sack came from there, but until we fix this defensive line, the Tampa 2 hinges on getting pressure. If you don't, you're playing zone out there, and you're letting teams like the Niners dissect you and rip you apart. Why is George Kittle open so often? Why was Juwan Jennings able to get open? Because when he has all day back there, these guys can cross routes, they can get open. If you don't have pressure in the Tampa 2, you will not succeed. So whose genius idea was it to let Eric Washington continue to play call with Matt Eberflus gone? Matt Eberflus was a good defensive coordinator. Head coach? No situational awareness, had no clue how to manage games, terrible. But he kept this defense afloat and winning games. This is the most points we've given up in a game all season, in over a full calendar year. We haven't had this bad of an outing in a long time. Matt Eberflus, with his linebacker, defensive back knowledge, was able to string this thing together. Ryan Poles has not put together a defensive line worthy of being an NFL team yet. The offensive line depth, not any better. The depth has been the biggest reason we've had so many struggles this year. Add that together and put a coach like Matt Eberflus in charge of Caleb Williams and his development. Caleb's in there taking sacks he shouldn't take still. We've got major problems. I can't be delusional about this team anymore. We have issues. We've got deep issues. It starts with coaches, number one. Number one, it starts with the coaches. We've got to fix. It starts with the ownership, obviously, but I don't see the McCaskies changing anytime soon. Then it comes down to the Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, and company, all the way down the ladder. This is a mess. I was so optimistic to start this year, and I know so many of you guys were too. I even have optimism for this game, but when you watch it unfold in front of your face, we're not even adapting from the Tampa 2 when we don't have the personnel to run the Tampa 2. Switch it to man. Get Terrell Smith in there more on man. Let these guys play some ball. If you're not getting the pressure, you're going to have to do it a little bit more. I don't have any solution mid-season, but in this off-season, we have got to strip this sucker apart. The only ones we should be keeping are Gervon Dexter, Montez Sweat as starters, Andrew Billings as a deep backup, Austin Booker as a developmental backup. Other than that, we need complete reconstruction on this defensive line. These guys are not NFL caliber guys. They are not doing a good job. And until you get that pressure, the Tampa 2 won't work. running that zone coverage, looking for tips. We had a couple tips in the first half, and it made me so excited. Oh, we might get some deflections. We might get a turnover here. But then the pressure it stopped. It went away. Eric Washington, defensive line coach, why aren't you calling up the right schemes? Why aren't you getting the pressure in there? Why aren't you calling some stunts and some blitzes? This is very frustrating. This was a frustrating loss. It hinges completely on the defensive line. We got to get started faster, 100%. I don't know what Thomas Brown was doing the first half. We looked lethargic. We looked unmotivated. We looked not ready to go. Bad. The second half, the offense looked okay. They were at least driving. A few mistakes here or there. Caleb with the backwards throw that ended up being a fumble. Those mistakes, you want to eliminate them, but they happen. It doesn't kill that they were doing a good job, though. Romo Dunze, awesome. I loved him getting more involved. The offense, I don't think is the huge problem on this team. I don't. Play calling for it, getting the right guys in there, yeah, we can fix that a little bit. But the defense let this one get out of hand way too early. Way too early. We have no pressure. We're not calling the right schemes. We're not playing the right coverage. 100%. This game started and hinged on the defense, and it was blown right off the bat. Matt Eberflus gone. He's a good defensive coordinator. Sucks at being a coach. It's too bad he's gone because we clearly played worse without him. Too bad he's gone as a defensive coordinator. I'm glad he's gone as the coach. We can't suffer any more of this. We've got to have some major overhaul this offseason. We got to have some big changes. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. Let me know what you want to see change on this team because we have got to have a major overhaul on this team. I have no answers for where we go from here other than this was a mess. We need new coaches. We need to overhaul this roster in the offseason. We've got the fifth most salary cap. We've got high draft picks. We got to finally hit on this sucker. We got to make this work. Bear down.